What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Outside the Round. Today, a very special edition. We don't have one, we don't have two, we have three guests today. We got the boys from Restless. We got Zach, Garrett, and Colton with us. Fellas, how we doing?
So
Fantastic.
good. How are you, man?
Great.
Doing well, man. It's cool having three folks sitting in here where now I'm turning this way, I'm turning that way. Cher's going to get a little bit of a workout, but how's life going? You guys got a new song out? Seems like things are going. Get ready for tour.
Oh, yeah.
Things are going out like that.
Yeah, we just
Hey, you see what I did there?
Alright.
New song going out like that.
new tour going out like that.
New
so
tour.
yeah, we've been in rehearsals. We actually just came from rehearsals. Show is first show is what, March 27th, Salt Lake City. So super excited. It's going to be a fun time. We're bringing Kelsey Hart out.
Oh, I
So,
love Kelsey. That's my dude.
yeah,
I
dude.
love
So
that guy.
it'll be a good time.
Yeah, we're excited. It's going to be fun. We're hitting the West Coast. I think we're going to be out for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, 19 days.
Yeah, or almost 3 weeks.
19
yeah,
days to
it's
start
gonna be
it
a long
off.
Stretch.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long stretch, but yeah.
We
We got to
haven't-
get our bus essentials together.
We haven't been out that long in 2 years,
Yeah,
maybe.
It's going to be a long
So it'll be good. It'll be a good little way to kick back off tour again.
Hell yeah. So what kind of venues are we doing on this tour? Are we in the, is it clubs? Is it
Yeah,
theaters?
clubs. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sick.
We're still doing some clubs, and so we're really excited. We're playing a lot of places we haven't played. We played in LA a couple different times, but we never played Troubadour. So we're gonna hit
you guys are doing
Troubadour,
Troubadour. That's
Yeah,
fucking
Troubadour this
sick.
round.
Grizzly Rose in Denver.
Have you done that one before?
We have not. No.
Grizzly Rose, one of my favorite venues. Shout out to the team out there. Got to go through there and sling some merch for some guys back in the day. Funny, after the show, like every venue kind of, we were talking, we'll get into Cruisins in a little bit and Wayno and the TNT guys and all that. But like, what's cool about the Grizzly Rose, the built-in crowd is fucking awesome. Plus, on top of your crowd of the tickets that you guys sell, the house bands there are usually great. And then after the show, you think in Colorado they don't know about seafood. They have the best shrimp that you will ever have.
Colorado?
Yeah, after the show in the green room, you'll get a big ass tray. You'll have, it's like the size of this table where it's like one tray is all wings, phenomenal chicken wings, and then the other one is a bunch of shrimp in a big bucket on ice, and it's fantastic.
In Colorado.
Isn't
In
that
Colorado at Denver? Yeah.
is that show 2? That's
Oh
show
my
2.
God.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be a hard to beat.
You know what that
and
means?
if that's
if we
on,
do really good the first night, with our second night, we're going to have a treat. We're going to have a shrimp buffet. That's what's going to
Yeah.
happen.
Oh,
shrimp,
yeah.
dude, I love shrimp.
And the crowd
too.
out there is great too. It's just like a legendary venue. Like Toby Keith used to be one of the house bands out there, so
wild.
it's like one of those cool spots.
Did you ever go to? There's a place. I guess it's outside of Portland, Oregon, and it's like it's in like a truck stop, movie
I've
theater,
never been to
hotel.
Oregon, but I want to get
Oh
out
my
there.
God. The
It's-
truck stop movie
it's-
theater cleaner hotel.
It's
dude.
like
No
there's
way.
all
Yeah.
these things in one, and when you pull up to it, you're like, "Wait, this is a venue." And then when you walk in it, though, it's crazy because on the wall they have everybody who's played, and it's been like Garth Brooks, Brooks and Dunn, like Dana Shea, like a lot of old acts, and then a lot of newer acts, and pretty much anybody who's ever been anybody has come through that place. And I'm going, you would have no idea. It's literally a hotel, a truck stop, a general store, a movie theater.
There's a dry cleaner.
There's a
in there,
dry
too.
cleaner.
An arcade.
And it's all one, and it's not. It doesn't even look like a strip mall. It's like this is like one gigantic looking building
With
that
all
just
the
has
things,
all
the
those things inside it.
A couple rats in the parking lot.
Yeah.
too.
You gotta have a little
Yeah.
bit of
No, it
something.
had
in
it
there.
had everything. It
for
had
grit.
everything.
Isn't
for
that where
grit.
we lost all of our suitcases too?
Yeah,
Like right
this
when
is a funny story. So we were pulling out of there, so we couldn't believe that we played at the truck stop cleaner movie theater arcade.
Legendary, yeah.
So that was already funny, and then we go to pull out, and we turn around and we just see, like, we're pulling out, we just see like 12 suitcases scattered just like all over the parking lot, and we're like, wait, whose luggage is that? And then before we pulled
see
out,
the door
you
just
see the door
flying.
flopping, dude. Like all of our stuff just fell out everywhere. Like somebody didn't latch the door, so that was a very memorable.
I wish
thing.
I
We
could
lost
say that
all of
was
our
the
luggage.
only time that's ever happened, but it
Yeah,
hasn't been. Yeah.
mine was the only one that fell out one time. We literally pull out of a venue, and we turn the corner. I mean, we didn't even go 100 yards, and then we see the door flopping, and I'm like, oh god, it's going. Go out to the trailer. Mine is the only suitcase gone, and mind you, we've only gone like I said 100 yards. Like it wasn't 30 seconds. We go back down the street. Look, we had a search party for like probably an hour and a half, like all through the streets looking for the suitcase. So
Gone.
we figure someone. Either the door was open the whole time and someone stole it and it was the first one, or like who knows where the suitcase went. I don't know where it would have went, but it disappeared into thin air.
Those door latches will get you,
Dude,
man. Those
twice now.
trailer
Twice
latches
now.
will
Dude,
get you.
it's bad. I wish I could say that it's probably not going to happen again, but I have a feeling. Well, at least now our luggage goes in the bay of a bus.
The
It
bay.
doesn't
Yeah,
go
this was
in
when
the
we were in
in
a
the.
van.
This was
Yeah.
This is the van
this was
life.
van days, and when we had them in the trailer in the back. So I think it's gotten a
We're
little bit
safer
better.
now, but yeah.
Yeah, dude. There's something special. Obviously, like the bus life is the best life,
It
but
is, yeah.
there's something special about being in the van with the boys, and especially like those early days. Like you guys have been at this thing for a while now. Talk about some of the early days of like the group forming and like coming out of COVID and just smoke just going.
Yeah. You're right about what you said though about the van stuff and like how cool it is when you are starting out in the van. Like I think we have a lot of great memories of taking it coast to coast, and so many times you just make memories together that way. It feels very Lord of the Rings. I always feel like we're like
Instead
the
of
fellow.
walking, we're just vanning.
we're
And
the
with your
fellowship.
curly hair and blue, I feel like you're.
Yeah,
the
and
guy taking us on this
I don't know. I
Frodo.
kind of feel like Frodo sometimes.
That's
but
awesome.
gosh, yeah, we started touring a lot coming out of COVID. That was really our first chance to get on the road when things opened up. But yeah, we've been a band actually for this 12 years this year.
Yeah.
So we all met when we were you graduated high school, and we were all a part of a TV show called The X Factor.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And that's where we met. And somewhere along the line on the show, we formed the band, and we worked with Simon a little bit, and we ended up getting to the semifinals. And then after that, also, we're a trio, but on the show, it was going to maybe be 4 people. Restless Road was maybe going to be 4 people, and Kane Brown was going to be our 4th member. And
It almost happened, but it's
But-
Just absurd.
but
Out loud.
he went on to do his own thing, and I know he's told us a lot over the years how much he regrets not being in the band.
we just feel bad
but
because it like didn't work out for him. But we're like,
He could have had his luggage lost
Yeah,
down the
dude, he
street
could've-
too.
Yeah.
right there with us.
He could have played the drive-in truck
he
stop
could
movie
have
theater.
he could have been a part of the fellowship in the van. But anyways, it's a really cool story and a really cool full circle thing, because in 2019, it'd been 6 years after the show, and we were just trying to find our footing and find our way. And Kane had definitely found something for him that was working, and he was at a point in his career where he wanted to sign someone, help someone out, and that got us. I guess he reached out to Colton, and we all met with Kane, and next thing you know, 2020 rolls around. We're putting out an EP. We got a song called "Take Me Home" with Kane Brown, and we're hitting the road with Kane on tour. And then COVID hit. What did we do then?
We
went
hopped
home
on.
and we quarantined for a bit. Well, we actually, I remember this. We were at the Houston Rodeo, so
wow.
it had been a
Yeah.
whirlwind. Like we literally quit our jobs, and like a week later, we were opening for Kane at Staples Center, like sold out. So that was already nuts. And I think we got through like 5 shows, and I don't think any of us had even heard of COVID or like didn't even know what it was. And
Oh, you're on the road. I didn't know.
no,
I was
I'd
touring
never
too.
heard
I didn't know
about
what it
And
was.
I remember we pulled up to the Houston Rodeo, and that was going to be a huge deal for us because like that's like one of the most coolest things to play.
Yeah.
So I remember I woke up, and I think I was like the last out of the bus, and I get out of there, and like everyone's walking towards me, and they're like, "Oh, dude, like pack it up, we're going home because of COVID." And I'm like, "No, we're not." And I ignored everyone. I go inside, like everyone's like packing up. I'm like, "No, this is like the most elaborate prank ever." And then the Kane's tour manager was like, "No, for real, like we got to scoot, like they're shutting it down, it's over." And I remember when we all got on a phone call, and they were like, we'll take like 2 weeks off for this COVID thing. We'll see how it goes.
We'll be
take
back in April.
2 or 3
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
2 or 3 weeks. We'll let it die down, and then you just didn't know how long it was going to last. And it was like a year and a half later, we finally got to go back on the road. But we took to TikTok in that time, and that honestly was kind of a blessing in disguise because when we first went out with Kane, we were acoustic. He had just brought us out. I don't think a lot of people knew who we were on that tour. And then obviously COVID, we had to kind of shift and. People were like, get on TikTok, get on there. And at that time, it was all just like the dancing and everything. Like there wasn't a whole lot of like.
There wasn't
music
really any
stuff.
music,
Like,
no.
It was kind of the wild west of like social media. Like you didn't really know what to do.
Yeah.
And I remember we probably we had to have made like 40 or 50 videos just trying to like figure out what our TikTok presence was because. Like I said, there was no like roadmap for like what to do.
Yeah.
And then we made some kind of funny song one day, and it just blew up. And then from there, we started kind of transitioning into like just more covers, and then like promoting our music. And after COVID, I think we were full band with Kane, and we really saw that like people were coming out now, like a lot more and being like, oh, Restless Road's
Yeah,
here.
to
So
watch us.
honestly, like the year and a half not being on the road was not the most fun, but it kind of worked out in the end.
Yeah.
It was a good point for us to kind of get a taste of it, and I think it made us hungrier. Like
Yeah.
for being on that tour, I think it really motivated us to see what that was like
Yeah.
at that level, and then to like have it taken away. I think it really just even more pushed us to want to like, dude, we got to come back even bigger and like
Yeah,
better.
yeah,
You know
and
what
the,
I mean?
yeah, and the crowds post-COVID were so hungry
Oh,
for
yeah.
live
Oh, yeah.
music, man. Those
Oh,
days
yeah.
were so much fun.
Well,
on the road.
and we kept telling ourselves like because we were the first of three, and we were like, we're going to be the first musical thing that people have heard since the pandemic.
In years, literally.
And so like we were like, I think that we were like one of the first tours that was back out on the road post COVID. So
Yeah.
it was really, really special for us. I mean, we didn't take that lightly at all of like getting to come out and really kind of give people the best show possible coming right out of COVID. So that's what we tried to do.
Yeah, and now it's like you fast forward and you guys have been all over the country. You just got overseas.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
doing that, and you look back on like the last 12 years and to see where things are at right now. You got popping out kids and shit. Like,
oh yeah,
like
It's
li-
happening.
Like life is happening, and now you're getting to go to a new phase of like doing it independently too.
Yeah.
Like doing it yourselves, which
Yeah.
I come from the world of the Muscadine guys and of Trey Lewis with Dick Down in Dallas. So
Yeah.
the independent world is something where it's like you're very much like your own boss and you're hungry.
Right.
And what's great is sometimes like with Gary and Charlie, I would say it's like a yin and yang, but with you guys, it's like a triad where it's like the three of you guys,
3 parts.
3 parts running the show where you guys do what you want to do. What's it been like now on this independent journey and now getting songs out and getting to go back out on tour and do all the stuff that you've been doing?
I mean, I guess the biggest thing is that there's no kind of hurry up and wait. It's kind of when we want to release music, we release music, and so that part has been really exciting. But honestly, it's just been. I mean, we're still kind of new in it. I mean,
Honestly,
like-
man, it doesn't feel like much has changed.
yeah, it really
I feel like we
doesn't.
still do exactly the same thing we've always done, and just like Colton said, we're just able to put things out when we want and give our fans music
Yeah.
when we want to. But I don't really feel like anything's changed about what we do or our process or how hard we're working. I mean, we've always kind of had that chip on our shoulder and that pressure to succeed, and we have really big dreams. So independent or not, it's kind of the same thing, I think, for us.
We've always and we've been heavily involved. I mean, honestly, like we've always been heavily involved in every aspect of our career. It's like, I mean, and not knocking any other artist because I know every artist has their own way of how they go about things. But like, we want to, like, if it involves our business and our career, we want to be a part of it, and we want to try to make it as great as possible. And so from that aspect of it, I mean, even when we had a label and we're still very involved. So like Zach said, it doesn't feel like anything's changed because it really hasn't. I mean, we've constantly still made sure that we're on the road and we're making music and we're still writing and we're still posting on social media. So really nothing feels like it's changed so far.
Yeah, and especially starting out at a young age, like you guys started doing this shit young, so it's like you learn what works for you guys and what doesn't. You know, like your formative years are when most kids are going through college.
Yeah,
you guys
we've
are.
been in college for 12 years, man.
Isn't that the best part of working in music, dog?
I'm a ninth year senior this year, dude.
Dude, I've been doing this for now in 2 decades.
Really?
I just was saying, well, not technically 2 sets of. I started this when we were 18, and I just hit 30. So
That's 3
my
decades.
teens, my 20s, and now my 30s.
Hate to break it to you, but it's 3.
Is that 3?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
That is
3 different decades.
You got a 1 in front.
Oh,
of
I'm
one,
entering
a
my
2
new
in
decade.
front.
Okay.
you were-
I wasn't counting
you were
that
musical
one.
in your teens, your 20s, and now your 30s.
Yeah, I wasn't counting this year.
Yeah.
And what's funny, we were reminiscing, and
Restless reminiscing.
in fact, yeah, about
Restless
restless
Reminiscing.
reminiscing. There's a content
Oh,
idea
yeah.
over there.
Yeah,
The
come on.
room, restless
That's the
reminiscing.
new album name, dude.
I want a 4th. But as Jimi Hendrix falls over there.
He wants the 5th.
We were, Jimmy wants a 5th. You can have it, Jimmy. But Colton and I had Colton on my damn college radio show.
That's what he was telling us.
Wow,
before this.
man.
2015 it had to
He was
be.
telling us about.
That's
yeah,
been
you were
10
interviewing
years ago.
about Junkie Jeep.
That
right?
Junkie
It was
Jeep.
about Junkie Jeep.
Junkie Jeep was
My
the
Junkie Jeep gets me.
We're releasing it. We're releasing it this year.
I mean, dude. I mean, it was a fun song,
Yeah.
and it's like he had come through to play. Like I got lucky. The school that I went to, and it was a small college called Rowdy University. It was in between Philly and New York, and we happened to just get random country nights of like we had this. We For a school that wasn't a party school, we had a bar in our student center
It was
called the
poppin',
Rider Pub.
too.
Where you could get beers. You could pay for beers with like your student, like your
Yeah, that's just
cafeteria money. Yeah, with like dollar beers. It was fun. It was fun. But we had like back in the day, we had like Walker Hayes before he like in between his first go at it and his second one, and then we had like Brett Young before he signed. Then Colton was on that list of like these Nashville guys that came up and played our bar. So
I said he had a pretty good list until he had me.
no, and it was fun. Like we had him on the college radio show. So I remember when I saw the Restless Road thing, and I saw, especially coming out of COVID, like seeing you guys pop on socials and everything like that. I was like, holy shit, that's Colton. That's the guy that I had.
Junkie
G
That's
right there.
Junkie Jeep.
That's
Junkie
the dude.
Jeep.
He's
in the
traded
flesh,
in that
baby.
Jeep for a very nice truck. So I know he's a West Virginia cat. Where are you guys from?
I grew up in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Oh, T-Town.
Yeah.
I
Roll
love
Tide.
that place. I love that place. I will say I like Auburn better.
Yeah, I'm not.
As,
War
as,
Eagle.
as somebody
I'm gonna be
touring,
honest,
I like Auburn
I'm
better.
not a huge like sports guy like at all. So like when people ask me, like I am an Alabama fan.
Yeah, I
'cause
feel like
I
you
grew
have
up
to
with
be.
it. I grew up
Yeah.
with it. But yeah, I never get offended if people are like, "Oh, I love Auburn."
I just like
I'm
Auburn
always
for-
just like, "Yeah, I mean, it is what it is."
Yeah, I mean, like T-Town's cool because like you have like, and I'm sure you guys have been through the bars down there, like
Yeah.
like Galette's, Red Shed,
Yeah.
Druid City.
Innisfree is a good one.
Innisfree.
I've graduated to Innisfree. Like I used to go out to like the booth and stuff, but I've noticed like now I'm in my later 20s when I go home, like all the people my age go to Innisfree now.
Yeah, going to Rounders.
Yeah,
like,
Rounders is out now. Like we don't go there
We're too
anymore.
old
Like
for
yeah,
Rounders.
I think around like 24, like you don't go to. I mean, we love Rounders. Like we actually
We did-
shot.
yeah, I was gonna
videos.
say, we put a-
I
we
love
put a
Rounders.
song
Like, we're
out.
good friends with the owner and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just funny. Like I just noticed my crowd, like my friends from school. Like if I ever go out with them, they're always like, "Yeah, we're going to Innisfree." It's like It's like it's like graduating school. It's like you just go up to Innisfree now. It's like
Yeah,
the place.
yeah. I just like Auburn for 2 words: Sky Bar. There's just
Yeah,
something
Sky Bar's
special
cool.
about. They only have one big bar there, and it's like that just takes
That's
the
the bar.
cake.
Sky
Yeah.
Bar?
Biggest bar in the SEC. You can fit like 5,000 people
Yeah,
in
it's
that place.
huge. It's
Holy
massive.
cow.
Absurd.
I've only been there once.
Yeah, and they have like the front room where they do like acoustic, and it's like SIGs inside. They're using like Windows XP for their like POS
Yeah.
system.
Oh, dude, this is like old
So
school
computers
bar, baby.
crash every night. It's wild. But it's funny because it's like that front room is where like the Muscadine guys, Riley Green, Ella Langley, Trey Lewis, anybody that's come out of Alabama the
Yeah.
last like
Yeah, that's where you kind of cut your teeth.
that's where you cut
for
your
sure.
teeth playing 4 hours of covers. And then in the back room, they have like either a DJ and it's like a big club.
Yeah.
Where it's like the big balcony and then
Foam cannons and-
the foam cannons are going. It's very similar to the Blue Room in Statesboro, if you've ever
yeah,
been
yeah.
there. Yeah, it's very similar to Statesboro, Georgia. But they'll have like 80s like rock bands, like tribute bands in there. Dude, yeah, the kids in Auburn are rabid. We're going down there for Auburn Rodeo in a couple
Oh,
weeks.
are
or something.
you?
We go every year
Oh,
and
that's
sell
dope.
merch and
We need to go to
get
that.
content.
Dude, wait,
Auburn
Auburn Rodeo?
Auburn Rodeo, it's sick. It used to be put on by the frat and then by the fraternity. It was like Sigma Chi, I think.
I think Zimmerman played it this past year. Didn't
Yeah,
he? I don't know.
but this last one that we went to, they did one in the fall. They called it Live on the Plains, and it was like Tyler Childers, Braxton Keith, Hudson Westbrook, like all those guys. This year they're doing. So now they do one in Athens too.
Oh, really?
So they do Athens on the Friday. So they do Georgia Rodeo on the Friday, and then it's the same show the next night in Auburn.
Dude,
Dude, we need
just-
an Alabama rodeo, dude.
We need one in T-Town.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
just
need a
outside of
T-Town
T-Town.
rodeo.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
sick.
Put it in like. I don't know what town would be close to, because I know my Alabama geography really well. For a guy from New
don't.
York,
I
I've been
don't.
up and down 60. I've been to
this guy does not.
I've been to Boaz. I've been to Heflin. I've been
Dude,
to
I've never even heard of
Anniston.
some of those. I literally like most people. I'm literally grew up in Alabama, and if it's not Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, or like somewhere around the beach, like Orange
Like
Beach
Mobile
area,
or Orange
like
Beach,
Mobile
yeah.
or like Spanish Fort, like I couldn't tell you. People are like, "You ever heard of this? You ever heard of this place in Alabama?" I'm like, literally have not.
Isn't there a place called Oneonta or something like
Oh,
that?
Aniana.
Yeah,
Aniana.
Aniata.
Aniana.
Aniata. Yeah. Oh yeah.
They have some weird names.
Yeah.
There's like Opelika.
Oh, that's where the Auburn Rodeo is. It's in
Opal.
Opelika, which is
Yeah.
just outside of
Some
Auburn.
very odd names from Alabama.
Yeah, my favorite just popped into my head as we're talking about weird names and crazy Alabama shit. My wildest Tuscaloosa story. I went to the Iron Bowl a couple years ago with Trey Lewis, and Trey does very well in Alabama. He's a Birmingham guy. Dick down in
Yeah.
Dallas did really well down there. So I go to the Iron Bowl with him, and then we end up meeting up with Roll Tide Willie. And I'm going around the quad with I don't give pissed about nothing but the Tide. And this was like 2-3 years ago, so he was like popping.
Yeah, I was gonna
Dude,
say
he was on
booming
fire.
after
We
time.
couldn't take more than 4 steps without somebody handing this man a shot. His eyes were green. I was like, how's he getting into the game? You know?
He's not, dude.
No.
Or he is. They don't care.
Oh, they're letting him
Yeah.
in. Willie gets
Yeah.
Willie and Alexander Shinara, the two patron
Dude,
sons.
yes,
of,
he literally is Alabama.
He is.
He's seeped his way into Tennessee now. Have you seen
he's,
that?
yeah, he's in North Carolina
Yeah,
too.
no, like,
he's in
like,
Mississippi.
that's the meme. Like there was a meme going around on TikTok, and it was literally like it was just like, tell me you're from Alabama without telling me you're from Alabama, and it was literally like everything was on fire because it's so hot. There's like construction everywhere, and then every 2 feet there was an Alexander Shannara sign, like someone's rolling.
Yeah.
It's like the three things: just traffic cones, hotness, and just Alexander Shannara.
Oh yeah,
everywhere you look.
I actually saw him at that Iron Bowl game.
Yeah.
And he was like in the
He's
area that we were
everywhere.
sitting in with
He's
Trey,
everywhere,
and I
man.
got to meet him, and I went up to him, and I was stoned. I was really high, and I was like, dude, I said to Trey, I'm like, I think that's Alexander Shannara. He's like, well, let's go find out. And then he fucking walked me right up to him. And I got a picture with Alexander Shannara. It was wild, man.
That's
It was
the
wild.
most Alabama thing ever.
Yeah. So talking about like festivals and stuff, that's something I'm sure you guys have gotten to do over the years.
Yeah.
What is festival season like for you guys? What have been some of your favorite memories of it?
Honestly, that's what we talk about festivals all the time just because I feel like you don't have any more fun than you do during festival season. It's like
It's the
the
funnest
perfect
touring season, I think.
tailgate. Okay, first off, we went up to tailgate in Tall Boys, and I'll never forget this. Morgan Wallen played the night before us, and we walked out, and there's like a sea of trash all over the ground, like where everybody. I think me and Joey and the guys were out walking, and I kept finding all these expensive
They
sunglasses.
were everywhere.
Probably got
They
like
were
50 pit vipers.
all of these like everywhere.
They were everywhere, dude.
So I
Maui
just started
Jims,
collecting sunglasses. And it's funny because then I think Maui Jim were there that day, and we ended up getting free sunglasses
Yeah.
on top of the other sunglasses
yeah, we had
that I
we had
just
a pile
found.
over here, and then just like the other ones. We had like 20 pairs on the bus.
That was a fun show, though. Honestly, all tailgate and tall anywhere up in Illinois and like around that area is like Ohio.
Midwest
is
goes
just great,
I'm blanking.
especially
What's the one where you can hit the golf balls?
Watershed.
Yeah,
Watershed.
Gorge.
Yeah,
Dude.
Watershed is awesome.
When we played that show, I'll never forget. Somebody before us, I don't remember who they were, but their computer like apparently fried. Like
Oh, for the tracks?
Yeah, like for
Oh,
stuff.
shit.
And
it
like
just caught on fire.
yeah, it was like completely fried. But the tent that we were playing in was so hot. Like it was brutal. I think like the high that day was like 115 there. It was
Jeez.
like
I think our boots
Crazy.
also melted to the stage when we played at Stagecoach.
Stagecoach.
Oh,
Yeah.
and they stuck.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a hot day in the desert.
Stagecoach was fun. I'm trying to think. We played Faster
Horses.
Horses
Oh, in Michigan?
Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Yep.
rowdy
Honestly, rest in peace to some of these festivals. 'cause
That's
I
where
don't think
Tim McGraw headline. That's where we really manifest. We really want to open up for Tim McGraw, and then a couple years later, it happened.
Ooh,
That's awesome.
We're really good at that.
another great festival was, and it's new. I think it's like 2 years old now. Country at the Bay, which is down in Miami,
ooh.
which is not a place you would ever think country music
I
would
got
be.
half my tattoos from that. one.
Yeah, but it was
Like,
so
literally.
sick. Like it was a great festival. We're getting ready to play Tortuga for the first
Oh,
time.
wow.
So
That's a bucket
really,
list.
really
we're
pumped.
That's in like a
looking
couple
forward to that.
weeks. That's
No,
really
it's a couple
coming up.
weeks
Yeah.
away. We're super pumped. Like
Excited for
any
that one.
show, like down that way and like beachfront type stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, I completely forgot to bring up. Where are you from, Zach? We
Oh,
went on a whole. He mentions Alabama, and I just
I
go,
don't have a hometown.
He really does.
No, I grew up in Iowa,
Okay.
and then I lived there till I was 15, and then I moved to Michigan, and then I moved to Pennsylvania before I was 18.
Oh,
All
wow.
before I was 18. So I went to 3 high schools in 3 different states, and then when I lived in Pennsylvania, that's when I auditioned for the show, and next thing you know,
Where in Pennsylvania?
Then we lived in LA.
then we lived in LA for like 3 months in a hotel room. What was it?
Where in Pennsylvania?
Oh, Indiana.
Indiana,
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Right outside of
IUP,
Pittsburgh.
IUP.
You
IUP.
ever partied at IUP?
I have not partied, but I've heard lots.
Me
of
and Garrett
stories.
used to party because we didn't go to college, but we still had the craving for some of the
We
experience.
stayed at your parents' house
And
for
so-
like 6 weeks, and we basically his dad is a choir director. So he was the choir director at IUP. So we were only going to go for like a week, and we ended up staying for like over a month. And like every night, we would literally just like hang out during the day, play Call of Duty, and then at night we would just show up at a fraternity and just like hang out.
Yeah.
And like everyone by like I think like
We ran
weekend,
from the
everyone would go.
cops. I mean,
Yeah, we
Garrett
did.
had a gun pulled on him in a rap battle because, to Garrett's credit, he was really doing well and
Yeah,
making the
I
guy
was
look really
roasting this
bad.
guy.
And next
Oh,
thing you
that's
know,
when you said that guy pulled up.
he got a gun pulled on him, and I was like,
Well,
well,
the guy. Okay, I'll
that's
say
our
this,
cue
the
to
guy-
leave.
The guy showed it to me, and
That's
I was like, I
wild.
was on fire. Like my rhymes were so hard, and
Yeah.
And I think I was like, dude, don't get mad just because I exploded. I was like, put that gun away, bro. It's not even loaded. And then he pulled it out, and Zach's like, let's go. It's a true story. He had to take me out of there because I was on a rap battle, just like I was on a tear. My bars were on fire and I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop.
Yeah. That's
But yeah,
wild.
go to IUP. It's fun.
Yeah, I've heard good things. Like Ray's Rowdy started in Pittsburgh, so like
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right up. I'm
That
a
was
big
always a-
Steelers fan, and that's close to Morgantown. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's where Nick, my business partner who founded Ray's Rowdy's
Yeah.
from Connellsville, Pennsylvania,
Yeah,
right
I
on
know
the board,
exactly,
right,
yeah.
right on the border from
Yeah.
you guys. So we're a Western PA, and then I'm a New York guy. So anytime I hear the East Coast getting around,
Yeah,
even if it
Pittsburgh
is-
was our weekend getaway as a family for sure.
Yeah.
Go to the mall.
go to the mall.
Yeah.
Go to the mall.
What else did we do? I just remember it was a place called Squirrel Hill.
Squirrel Hill.
Yeah, it's like a neighborhood there.
Sounds like something in West Virginia.
Yeah, so, I mean
I was
Pittsburgh
gonna say
might as
that,
well
my
be.
God,
Especially
that
my life
sounds
at the
like
Squirrel
something.
Hill Mall.
Let's go hang out at the Squirrel Hill.
Squirrel
Yeah.
Hill.
Go to the food court at the Squirrel
Yeah.
Hill.
What kind of food would the Squirrel Hill have?
Oh, like
pierogies
Well, first
or-
off, if you ever
Lots
had
of pierogies.
if
Lots
you've
of pierogies.
ever had
Pittsburgh.
squirrel, it is really good.
Really?
So good.
It's very
Squirrel
tender.
dumplings, squirrell gravy.
I didn't know this was a real thing. Are you being for real?
Yeah.
He's
I go
from West
squirrel
Virginia.
hunting,
He
of
can
course.
confirm.
we eat anything. If
They
you-
got squirrels like you
you
got
can kill it.
armadillos.
Don't even get me started on chipmunk.
yeah.
Oh, Chipmunk.
You can kill 6 squirrels during squirrel season at a time, and then you take them, and most of the time we just skin them, and then
Squirrel soup.
like you can like what you do is you boil them and
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
and no squirrel gravy is really the best thing. Like you cook the grease from the squirrel to make the gravy, but then you just cut the legs off of them, and they literally taste like they're
I
like
demand
chicken.
Next time we go to your family
Absolutely.
home, we're having squirrel gravy.
Rabbit too.
I bet
man.
you that should be a crazy rider item. You guys should
Squirrel?
ask. You
like
guys should
like
next
water,
small town.
emergency
Yeah.
M&Ms, and then squirrel gravy.
Yeah, next time you guys go to a small town where you think that squirrels are being consumed,
Come
Bro,
on.
we should do that as
just
a prank.
come up with like crazy.
They're
That
like,
should be the thing
we
this
just
year.
can't find squirrel gravy, and we're just like, well, we just can't play with
I
that.
don't know if I could do that. I've been really into like hypnotizing squirrels lately.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can do this, and
figured it
apparently
out.
You what?
No, it's
yeah,
a real thing,
it's
dude.
possible. I know what you're saying. It's possible.
No,
it
it's-
is possible.
it-
You
There's
come
a
here
video to
talking
prove
about
it.
the Hobbit,
Trust
and Lord of the
me.
Rings. and
Trust
now-
me.
Tell them about it. Tell them about our
Just do
experience.
this.
Just do this.
Yeah.
Next time you see a squirrel, it works better on city squirrels.
Okay.
But do this, and it will perk up, look at you, it will approach you, and you just
It'll
gotta-
go-
We'll
It'll
show
jump in
you a
your hand.
video after
It
this is
works.
over.
It works.
It jumps in your hand. He told us
Go
about
find a
this.
park here in Nashville where there's squirrels and they're used to seeing people. Try out the wave,
Just
and
look
it will.
them in the eyeball and do this, and they will come from
Yeah.
far and wide, and they will
And
jump
they'll
in
come
your
right
hand.
up to you.
How'd you start doing that? Did
I'm
you,
kind
like,
of
see
breaking
it
down
somewhere?
their defenses right now. I'm gonna find one and just bring it home. I think. Keep
And
it.
then I'm going to cook it.
And then we'll have a lot of squirrel gravy.
He has no idea,
No,
but
he
I'm
told-
cooking
he saw some
it. He
video.
trusted me.
He saw some video and he goes, "Dude, I figured out how to hypnotize a squirrel." And we're like, "No, you didn't." And he's like, "No, I swear." He's like, "Me and my girlfriend tried it at the park, and like 10 squirrels came out." I'm like, "There's no chance." And when we were in London on tour, he's like,
British
"Dude,
squirrel. It works on British squirrels too.
No, the
British
British
squirrels.
British
All
squirrels,
international.
We found that international squirrels work better, but like he literally
Yeah.
is like, "No, watch this." We're standing in a park, like we saw 1 or 2 squirrels, right? Like nothing crazy.
Yeah.
He's standing in the middle of the field and he just goes, "Watch this." Like this, and then we waited about 20 seconds, and then like 12 squirrels came out of nowhere, and they just all gathered around. I mean, it really did work.
Yeah, we ate good that night.
Okay, this is such a side note, but when you said it works on British squirrels too, have you guys ever thought about, I don't know what made me think about this right now, but have you ever thought about, you know how people from other country have different accents? When squirrels are communicating with them, like with people, with the other squirrels, do other squirrels sound different? And
There's no THC in that drink. Is there?
it is a very high thought when you think about it, but
It's a high deal.
yeah, it's a high deal.
It's a high deal.
It might be. They might communicate and have a different accent, man.
Like if a squirrel just somehow ended up on a boat, like a cargo
Yeah.
ship going from like
Like,
New
would they
York.
understand
like if it's
it?
Like if it's a New York squirrel.
Like,
you
would
know
a
what
New-
I mean?
yeah,
He's like,
would a New
"Yeah, I'm
York
walking
squirrel
here."
understand
Or
a
like a
London
bastard
squirrel?
squirrel? Like what do they sound
Like
like?
a
You know what I mean? And then
bastard.
one's like, he's like, oh yeah, mate, these guys Restless Road over here in Sydney, and they've came out and they've hypnotized us. They don't even know. What
They don't. I don't
I'm
even think
so
they have
sorry I
squirrels. They have
opened
like
this can of worms.
wombats. They don't even have squirrels.
I don't know. I'm just saying it is a kind of a good point.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just maybe
It's
think of
something
it.
to think
Yeah,
about
Make sure
for
these
sure.
don't have THC.
They
in
do
them.
not. It's the green tea. It's all the extra caffeine.
I'm
it is
Colton
something
Pack, and I
to-
specialize in animal accents.
Animal accents. You got to get this dude. You got to get this dude to be on a. He has 3 daughters, and he's really good at like kids TV shows.
Yeah, like
impressions.
kids TV
I'm
show
sure you knocked
characters.
Bluey out of the park.
Bluey is actually a really, really hard one because you have to have a good Australian accent, but like Mickey Mouse. Oh boy. Like, and then you got Goofy. Oh, Mickey. Shaggy and
yeah.
Scooby. Like Zoink Scoob, there's a lot of ghosts in here, man. Wee, swaggy, wee.
See, he needs to do voiceovers for these squirrels when they get
Elmo.
Yeah, that's
For
the,
la la la,
that's
for
the
la la la.
content bit. You
I'm
hypnotize
telling
the
you, dude.
squirrels, and then he does the voiceovers, and then you eat them.
I will tell you this: when we were on the X
I think
Factor,
it's a great idea.
when we were on the X Factor, I do remember because I do a mean Elmo too, and
Oh.
they had asked for hidden talents, and that was one of them, and I did it on camera, and they said we can't show that. And I said, "What not?" And they said that will scare people.
Well,
It will legitimately scare people.
I'm not gonna take it off here, dude.
Good morning, children, and welcome to the Elmo Show. For la la la, for la la la, Elmo's what? Elmo loves you.
I mean, it's good.
It wasn't scary. Totally not. It didn't piss myself.
That's how I actually picked up my wife. I did my accents for her, and she knew I was the one.
She was a big Sesame
yeah,
Street
you're
fan.
Sesame
Big
Street.
Sesame
Big
Street
Sesame
fan.
Street girl, Sesame Street Stan.
Sesame Street was taken, so we went with Restless Road.
Sesame Street.
That's awesome. That's wild.
Sesame Street.
That's wild. So you guys getting back out on the road now. What was Europe like? This wasn't your first time over there, right?
No.
This was our third
Yeah.
time.
But it was our first time
Headline.
kind of being able to headline, and we were able to sell out this tour, and it just kind of blew our minds, the reaction and how just Restless receptive they are to everything that we're doing out there. And it just feels like a home away from home now to be able to go out on the road and have met that many new fans. And we started off in Amsterdam. We went through Germany, a few different stops there, Berlin, Munich, Cologne. We went to UK, we hit like 5 or 6 places there, and ended in London. And it was the biggest show that we've actually ever headlined before.
Wow.
So it was it was a dream come true, honestly. It was so cool.
What do you think it is about Europe where it's like the UK is the biggest show that you've headlined? Or do you think it's just that you've opened so many slots here to where you haven't gotten the chance to go out?
Well,
and
I think it's because it was just our last show. They get bigger every time we play.
It was our last rodeo in Europe for the year. No, I honestly think the big thing about like UK and Europe fans is just like they don't see country music all that often, and I think country's having like the biggest moment right now. I think.
Oh yeah.
Like country's always been cool, right? And I think it's just now getting to the point where it's like super mainstream, just even outside of the United States. And I think people crave like country music, and they're getting access to the artists now. Like people are going over more and more, and I think it's really cool. And I think it's the lyrics and the storytelling behind the songs, because I noticed like especially like in London or Germany or anywhere like that, like those fans really listen to every single word you say. Like they're very, very analytical. Whereas like U.S. fans more times than not, they just want to party and have a good time. But like you'll notice when you're singing some of your songs, like they're kind of like really wanting to hear what you're saying, and it's really interesting because after the shows, you know, here in the U.S. there's a lot of songs that we have that are typically fan favorites. People would say like, "Oh, Growing Old with You," or "Last Rodeo," I love that song. And then I think in Europe and UK, it's more like there's like some deeper cuts that like a lot of people would be like, "I love that song. It's my favorite one y'all done." So it's kind of interesting. Like I think they like different things.
It's got to make you feel good as a songwriter to have
Dude, it's awesome.
appreciation for the deep cuts.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
100%. And honestly, I think too, like one of the big things that we've kind of seen, at least on social media, is like the harmonies. I feel like the harmonies are a big thing for people because, I mean, no matter the genre of music, I mean, you have big rock bands like, I mean, technically the Beatles. I mean, we're considered rock, and they're a big harmony. The Eagles is another one, and like, so I feel like harmony music is kind of universal, and no matter where you go. So I feel like that's been one kind of, I guess our biggest thing is when we go over there, we get, I feel like a pretty good bit of people coming out to the shows just because I think that's like, I think a big comment we get a lot is, you know, I don't listen to country music and I love you guys. And honestly, that's like
a huge
that's a big
compliment,
compliment, to get from people. So, and we've just really made it a priority to, you know, since country is having such a big moment, like we want to be able to grow like all at the same pace. Like if we're in the US, like I don't think anything would be worse than to be an arena act in the US and then go to another country and you're only playing in clubs. Like that would be a lot harder versus like if you can play arena in the US and then go over to another country and play an arena over there. I think so that's our goal, is just, you know, to grow the U.S. and our international presence all at the same rate. So, and the key to doing that is just showing up and going and playing and being willing to do it. So,
Yeah, what's the record of shows that you guys have done in a year?
oh gosh, I don't
If you had
know.
to think.
We did a couple of years ago. I don't know how many shows we did in that year, but we were on the road over 250 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it wasn't fun. it got at the end of it. It definitely, we started to feel it a lot more. But honestly, I will say the fun part about it was we hit two different international tours in the same year. So we did our headline tour, a support tour with Kane, and then we also then went over to Australia. And when we were over there, when you go over there, it's so expensive and it takes so long to get over there. I mean, it's 4 days of travel just there and back.
Yeah,
and
you gotta
so
go for a minute. Like,
so
if
we
you're
were there
gonna go,
for-
You got to go for a while.
I think we were there 22 days, and then
Yeah.
we also then like a month and a half later then went to Canada and played 19 days there. And so, and then on top of the headline and stuff. And so, yeah, it was, my
It's a
wife
busy
wasn't,
one.
my wife wasn't too happy.
I was
with
gonna say
that year.
keeping the girls happy, but also you guys keeping your chemistry while being around each other
Oh,
for
yeah.
200 something days a year. Like I saw it like just being out with an act and then the band, but it's you three and a
Right.
band.
Yeah.
Like, how do you guys keep the camaraderie and keep the brotherhood going when you're
You
in a
know,
closed
we've
space
been-
like that?
we've been together for so long, and I think it sounds cheesy, but it's like communication. It literally is just like any good relationship. But I mean, yeah, definitely over the years we've learned, like, we're all very different. Like, we grew up very different. We have different tastes and things, and just we're all very different people. But I think we've learned each other's like ticks and quirks and different things, and like, you know, I think we're really good, you know, spending so much time with each other. I think we've figured out now, like, if we have an issue or like, you know, it's hard. Like, I'm only child. Like, I didn't grow up with brothers and stuff, so like living with dudes that I didn't know at first was crazy. Like, so it's just, you just get to know each other, and just, you know, we always kind of just we kind of talk through things and don't let anything settle. You just kind of, if you have an issue or something, you just bring it up
say
and
it,
talk.
yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
say
just
it
talk
and
about
keep
it.
it real. Just keep it real, because it's like you don't want any resentment to like brew up for any reason. I mean, it's tough being together with people that much too,
Yeah, I
away from
bet.
your family and stuff. So I think we're good about just, you know, just talking things through and just kind of like voicing opinions and leaving it at that and moving on, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you hear all these stories, I feel like, of so many bands that they go, oh, yeah, after so much time, you eventually hate each other. And it's just like, we've been a band for 12 years, and we have had fights for sure. But at the end of the day, I feel like it now feels more of like we're brothers, and you fight with your brothers all the time.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you love them, and you accept each other for who we are, and you kind of just move past that. And I feel like if we're 12 years in and we don't hate each other, it's going to be hard to make us hate each other in another 10 years. So
Yeah.
I think that's just the key. Like Garrett said, just, you know, being able to communicate with each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like you're 12 years in, but it's like now it seems like the sound continues to evolve, and you guys are at such a cool spot sonically and working with folks. What's it like now? Like, have you guys had the same producer all the way through? You're working with you're trying something new now, or where are we kind of going sonically?
We might be going. I think we've been all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have tried a lot
But-
of people.
But I feel like whoever we've worked with, everything has always felt Restless Road to us if it comes out, and so
Like even
we've
on
worked
our
with
record, yeah,
amazing
it was
producers like
4 or 3
like Dan Huff and Lindsey Rhymes and Jared Kime, and they're all, you know, producers on our debut album Last Rodeo, and we're so proud of that. And yeah, moving forward, they're people we'll probably continue to work with, and we have other ideas as well. And yeah, just kind of after putting out what we said 28 songs. I don't know how many songs
don't
we
know,
put
yeah.
out.
30 something.
I feel like we've kind of gotten a taste of what sounds we are drawn to the most, and our fans. And so I think just from here on out, it's just dialing into that and
Yeah.
continuing to highlight just the harmonies and having a vocal group and really featuring the uniqueness in everyone's voice. That's always our goal. And so just pushing that more and more.
Yeah, and it's such a cool time for you guys to be coming up too, because like you were talking about like how like the harmony thing does.
Yeah.
You have country fans or not people that aren't fans of country saying I freaking love Restless Road. I love you guys. But now is the time where country is we're having our Sunset Strip moment right now here in Nashville.
Yeah.
We are the Sunset Strip with like Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue and all those bands. Nashville is that right now worldwide.
Yeah.
And anything kind of goes as far as like the gate is so wide open for what you can do, and it makes it really cool for a group like you guys where you can stretch to a more traditional sound. You get some that's popular. You want to throw some bars in there, like you can stretch where do you guys want to go?
I mean,
It's a blessing and a curse for us because we do love so much different kinds of genres and music, and I think we can all even pull it off and sing all these different kinds. So when we're writing or putting our set together, I feel like we can really do a lot of different things. It sometimes is the challenge is finding what's the common thread with everything and kind of making it familiar but unique at the same time. But
yeah, like we grew up on all those old.
We all
days.
did, yeah.
Everybody
Because
did. And,
I'm
I think
30.
that-
I'm 30 as well. You guys all seem to be around my age, like late 20s, early 30s, right? Okay, sick.
But yeah, I mean, it was just like I think that's what our vision has been since the beginning. Because like we grew up with Rascal Flatts and Alabama and the Eagles and all these different people, and I think that was like even 12 years ago we were noticing like, dude, there's like no vocal group. So like there like it's such a great sound, and I think that's from the beginning we've always like wanted dreamed of being like in 20 years from now we hope that like people or vocal groups or whatever come after us and go like, man, Restless Road was the sound of my childhood. Like that's like because that's what happened to us. So like we want people to look back on us and be like, they were the great vocal group of the 2020s, man. Like, that's our dream. I mean, that's really
Man,
our dream.
nothing hits the same as the country did in the 20s.
Yeah, we're the 20s. We're the roaring 20s right now.
Yeah,
But yeah. I mean, that's the dream. We just want to be a great vocal group and be looked back upon as.
I think you're in the process of living that dream, and the fact that you get to go international and do all of that stuff. Now I got to ask you some touring stuff. When you guys were out in the van and stuff, who was always the last one back in the van at a gas station stop? Like, who were you always waiting on?
Zach.
Probably.
The thing Zach does is we would get on a stop and then
Yeah.
everybody goes like it'd be like a 30 minutes, 20. We'll give him 20. It's like 20 minutes.
30 if you're at Buc-ee's.
Yeah, okay. You go to a Buc-ee's, whatever, and I would always notice like everybody would like take a bathroom break, get all their food, and then as everyone's walking back, Zach's just walking
out.
He's just getting into the process. That's very much a Zach thing.
And then you got to take a look around and see what snacks they got, because every gas station has a different selection of energy
I think that's what
drink.
he does. I think he was trying to see like what everybody got and then decide like what he wants to do.
I'm like that too. I take my time in there.
Yeah. I could have just been smoking weed before. Too.
Good chance. There's a good chance.
I had those days as well.
We're at those gas stations. I would look around.
I can't go to the gas station and get munchies
He was
without
hypnotized,
getting
dude.
right.
Some random dude was doing this to him. He couldn't get out of the bus.
You're in bumfuck Arkansas. And somebody's just
Some
doing
guy's like, "Hey, you got a cigarette?"
some witch doctor's trying to bum a smoke. That's awesome. That's awesome. What are like your go-tos? Like you talk about like the bus essentials and like the tour essentials. What are some of those essentials that like, you gotta have with you on the road, especially with you guys being about to be gone for 3 weeks?
Gotta have the Zins.
Gotta have the Zins.
Gotta have the Zins, the Zin and Chinos, the Zemos.
The Zemos.
Yeah, we're about to hop on the Zemo train
I'm
after
about
this.
I'm about to set you up with those guys.
Zemos. I feel like what's it called? Fairlife protein shakes have been a big one that's been on our thing.
My girlfriend loves
Dude, they're
those.
so
Get
good.
them at
Tasty.
Costco
Yeah.
too.
Dude,
You
even
can
if you
find them
don't care
bulk.
about like fitness, those are just tasty.
Yeah.
Those are just good.
So those are always a good. I'm notoriously known for being a horrible eater when I'm on the road. So like any snacks, like
The worst one you do is that weird hot dog thing.
Oh yeah, he has that pickled hot dog thing that he.
You get the pickled shit.
Oh,
There's
the
always
Big
one
Mama.
guy that gets
The
the
pickle-
yeah, it's the big
Pickled
mama.
hot dog
The
is
Big
always
Mama.
the guy.
Yeah, it's the Big Mama.
Somebody in the gang
Yeah.
always has to
Hot
get
Mama.
something.
That and then shakes it down with a
Yeah.
boiled egg from the
I
pilot.
don't do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Boiled egg.
Yeah.
I'm boiled egg guy. Like if
Come
anybody
on.
I'll
gets
do
a
the boiled egg.
I'm boiled egg guy. Like
Yeah.
I'm that guy that's like I need some eggs in
Yeah.
the morning, and then I'll go buy like the weirdo.
It's the
like,
hot
one,
mama.
One like
Yeah.
wrapped up
The
boiled
hot
egg.
mama.
The
And then
hot
we're
mama,
driving
Big
for
Mama.
15 minutes before it's an emergency and we're pulling over again.
I will say,
Yeah.
if I get a Big Mama, you like it was bad in the van days. Like I honestly, I can't
Yeah,
say I
you're
felt
eating a
bad.
fucking
Zach,
Big Mama,
Zach
yeah.
he'd go, do you get enjoyment out of this? Are you really doing this right now?
12 dudes in
Yeah.
a damn enclosed space.
He goes, you're a sick man. I think you're getting enjoyment out of
I
this.
think one of the hardest stretches we did in the van was we drove from Portland to Pittsburgh, and we had to put in basically 12 hours on the road a day to be able to make it by the next show, and we were only eating Love's gas station hot dogs. Like that was it.
And those blueberry, it was the blueberry hot
Garrett,
dog.
Like
That
by
was
the end of the
notoriously
that run,
I ate the weirdest
we
stuff.
looked
The
like
tornadoes, like the little like pre-made.
we like
stuff.
did a whole Gollum transformation like in those 4 days. Like
literally,
we hadn't seen sunlight.
Dude,
we like were.
He took like a 12-hour shift. I went to bed and I wake up and then I'm like getting up, or maybe I was finishing driving. I don't remember. And then me and him were parked, and then I see Zach poke his head out, and he's like bone white. He's got bags under his eyes, and he goes, I can't do this for much longer. And I was like, dude, he literally looks like the guy that's like, my breath.
Dude, this was back in the day when we had this van that was converted. It was a Sprinter van, but
Okay.
in the back, somebody had converted it to like kind of like a mini bus. And when I say a mini, I mean like a mini bus.
Like 5 beds,
Yeah.
in a
Like in
Sprinter
the
van.
back,
The
and then it had
coffins, yeah, the
also,
coffin
Yeah.
bunks,
And
yeah.
and it had a couch and everything too in the
And
front.
an Xbox too.
Yeah,
And two
but
TVs that were like
when
that.
when I say coffin beds,
Oh, dude,
I
I
mean,
hate those. I've
coffin
done that.
beds.
that
Really,
kind
I
of
like the
before.
security of it.
I prefer
It's
having a
comforting.
whole. I prefer having a whole ass row to lay down. Like I'll take.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we started realizing that real fast that we would have rather probably had because we all couldn't be out on the couch. So there'd have to be some people that would have to just lay in those bunks
know,
as you're driving.
I
and
like
you're
those
like,
bunks
oh,
though,
that's
'cause
horrible.
I'm a big fan of a nook or a cranny, and I
nook or
yeah.
You know what? I was gonna say that one downside being in a band is like, you know, a lot of like solo artists, they have like the bedroom suites in the back of their bus.
Yeah.
But like, we're
Well,
3 guys. We
we'll
can't
never
have
get
that.
that.
I
We'd
don't
have to
mind-
just have
yeah.
multiple buses. Like we
Yeah.
could never be on the same bus and have that unless we were all like that. Just wouldn't work. Right?
Yeah, I don't mind like the bus bunks. The bus bunks I can. Do.
Oh, yeah,
And
no, they're
I
way-
actually sleep better in a bus bunk. Than
I
I do at
slept. I
home.
used to. It took me a while once I got off the road where I was like, okay, like it took. Like I was used to sleeping while
I like the
moving.
rumble. I like hitting the rumble.
Oh, you
strips.
like
It reminds
your-
me I'm alive. You know what I
the
mean?
rumble
You're like
strips.
you're dead asleep and then you just feel. And you're like, oh God, like is this it? And then you're fine. And it's just,
Well,
it's,
even when we were in that van life, though, we were still like most people when they're doing van, they're still getting hotels. We would give our band the hotels, and we would stay in the little like van in those coffin bunks.
And one night it was
Oh,
pitch
it was
black.
horrible.
This was on that Portland to Pittsburgh trip. In the van when we're sleeping, it's pitch black in there, and I woke up in the middle of the night, parched, and I'm
Famished.
I'm like feeling around for the water bottle I had, and I grabbed it and took the lid off, and I just threw it back, man, Only problem was our guitar player at the time, he was a Big Dipper, and he wasn't doing the Zemos. He was doing the
He was
real
doing the
stuff.
Grizzly Winter.
And so he had his spit bottle that he conveniently left right by my bunk. And that happened to be the bottle I grabbed.
Dude chugged an entire bottle of dip spit in the middle of the night.
That gets you some street cred.
I'm actually very impressed. He didn't throw up or anything. Like he literally like it was bad, but like he didn't throw up or anything.
And it's trained him since then because now when we're on the bus,
I can't drink water
he,
anymore.
no, yes you can.
Yes, you can.
He'll do this.
Oh,
I've
my
never
God.
seen anybody do this, but like when they're obviously people just in general in life are notorious. Like if you drink a water bottle, if you're with a bunch of people, like did your mom or dad ever go, now write your name on that
Oh,
so that
yeah.
you know which one's yours to make sure
All
you're
the
drinking
time,
it?
yeah.
So when you're on a bus, everybody's drinking these waters, but then there's like
You forget.
15 half-empty bottles of
Always.
water.
So you just open a new one, and then
So-
there's like
There's that.
So
There's
Zach,
30 of
every
these.
night before he goes to bed, will literally walk in there and he'll go, oh, and then he'll start chugging
chugs
all.
all-
the
I'll drink
half-empty
30
waters.
bottles that look like this just to get rid of all this water, and I can't handle the fact it's getting. I can't let it go to waste.
Backwash, bro.
Yeah, I either yeah. That either becomes the toothpaste water or like
He's not Zach Beacon.
the
he's
hair
Zach Backwash.
water. Yeah.
That's wild, man.
He does
Yeah.
do that though. I'm impressed.
Yeah. And now,
cool.
now when you're in Chicago, you can drink Malort like nothing after drinking dip spit.
Yeah,
Malort. Everybody complains about. I'm sure
What
you
is
could throw
that?
it. You never had Malort?
It's like the
No.
forbidden liquor or something.
It's a liquor. They actually sell it at Red Door. Shout out Red Door, because Red Door is a Chicago bar.
Wait.
And they sell it at Ernie's as well.
Red Door is a Chicago bar?
Yeah, you never noticed all the Cubs and all the Bears
Well,
stuff
yeah,
in there?
but I just didn't think.
Yeah, they're owned by people out of Chicago. Yeah. The owners are from Chicago.
Okay.
And then
I never noticed too much.
Yeah,
Wait,
and then yeah.
So what's this called? Malort's?
Malort.
Malort?
Malort. Next time you guys are. Oh, Malort. Oh, Malort. Exactly.
Oh, Malort.
Yes, it's 100. I don't know if you guys have heard of Malort. Yeah, you've heard of it over there. So it's a delicacy in Chicago. You know, people have shit that like is representative of their homes.
Yeah, like spotted cow or whatever. When you go,
but spotted cow, from what I've heard, is good.
Oh, it is. It's
damn
wonderful.
Malort is really like notoriously bad.
Yeah, it's
So,
like
like,
a rite. I love rite of passages.
That's exactly
A
it.
restless
I've
rite
got to
of
try
passage.
it now.
Next time you guys are at like Joe's on Weed Street or Joe's Live up in
We're
Chicago.
playing Joe's Wheat on
Okay.
Weed, yeah.
Well, Ed Warm, if you're watching this,
Ed.
I know you watch sometimes. Ed Warm, get these boys bottles of Malort and have
I
you
wanna
drink
Is it
try.
like, is it a liquor? Like,
It's a liquor, right? Yeah, it's a.
is it a
It's,
liquor?
I want to give it that kind of fancy title.
Yeah, that
but-
sounds too fancy.
Yeah.
I do feel like that's where they got their name. Somebody took a big
Oh,
old swig of it and
Lord.
went, oh,
But
my
yeah,
Lord.
it's a very it says Chicago is deep dish pizza
All right, we'll have to get some pizza
and
and some
Portillo's and all of that.
Very
Oh,
alcoholic
Portillo's
drink.
is
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, you eat a Portillo's sandwich, get the chocolate shake, and then after wash it down with a shot of Malort, and you'll be
good.
full Windy City.
Sounds good.
But yeah, you'll have no problem with it. These two will probably gag a little bit, but after drinking that dip spit, you'll have no
Oh,
problem. with
man,
it.
I grew up on moonshine, man.
That is true. And your Junkie Jeep.
My
yeah.
junkie Jeep.
So we talk about Junkie Jeep. Are there any songs like looking back to like the early days of you guys and like the solo thing that are like your Junkie Jeep moments? Like where we were talking with them about Junkie Jeep, which
Yes.
I still have on my
Yeah,
phone.
I had a song. So it was like the first song I ever wrote. I never wrote one, and I was like 14 or something, and I met this girl on a porch chair like at a friend's house, and then I went home and I described it in great detail. It was just literally like the whole chorus is like, I was sitting right there, or she was sitting right there, right beside me. All I could see
Sing it,
was
man.
the stars in the pine trees. Blonde hair was hanging down.
Chuck Taylor's on the ground.
And actually, I think I stole a melody from a song like "Pedal to the metal till the sun comes up."
Sounds
right
about
here
right.
to the yeah, it definitely was like a copied melody, but yeah, I wrote that and then I put it on iTunes, and then
Dude, you're getting sued
I think
now
my
for
first
sure.
check was like for like $2.70, and it honestly like it helped me. It helped my street credit school though. Like everybody was like, "Dude, that's so sick! Like you're on iTunes," and it was back when like iTunes was like awesome. Like you were on
Yeah.
iTunes, like you really made it. So I was like, I was in like 9th grade on iTunes.
Porch
What was the
chair,
other
bro.
one?
Yeah.
LimeWire? Was LimeWire that thing?
Yeah. LimeWire was a big one.
LimeWire
was like that was like 08.
LimeWire, Pirate Bay was
Dude,
like
Yeah,
Pirate
LimeWire,
Bay,
yeah.
yeah.
That's where
So I
I
got
would get.
Logic for the first time.
Yeah, dude, I had all kinds of friends. And what about for you, Zach?
Well, I mean, I had some songs that I did back when I was like 18, but I never put them on like the internet or anything, or no one could find them. But it made me just think now. I actually did release a song solo under a different name, Blaine Ryder,
Blaine.
because
Yeah.
my grandpa. He got really inspired when I started doing music, and as a hobby, he started writing his own songs.
Oh, that's
and
so cool.
He was still
That's awesome.
he was still kind of learning guitar and stuff, so
Yeah.
he was really good about he would type out all the lyrics, and there wasn't really a melody. It was just more of a lyrics and an idea.
More, yeah.
And so my mom and I we surprised him for Christmas or his birthday, and we took his lyrics to a song called "Her Name Is Flame," and we made melodies to it and got a whole production,
flames.
and we
It's
recorded
really
it.
good.
We recorded it, and it has like 6 verses. And I kept it all the way he had it. Didn't change anything.
you have to.
And yeah, it has like 6 verses, and it goes what's her name? What's her name? It should be Flame. That's your name.
I like the sipping beer
Yeah.
through a straw.
When I was in Texas, the prettiest thing I saw was over in the corner, sucking beer through a straw. So I sauntered on over. I asked her name. She said her name was Fargo, but I thought it should be Flame. What's your name? What's your name? It should be Flame. Yeah, that's your name.
Dude. And I actually made his album cover on Photoshop.
Yeah, that's
I
my
took a pho- I
grandpa's.
took a
Was
photo
actually
on a
really
phone.
good.
That's
Yeah,
my
I took a
grandpa's song,
picture.
and I asked him. I said, "Hey, I want to put it out, but I pick a name like that could be like what was Garth Brooks' alter ego? I don't know, Chris Gaines.
Chris Gaines.
Yeah, it was kind of like that thing. And so I was like, just like let's come up with this alter ego and put it
Ryder.
out. So he suggested Blaine Ryder, and we rolled with it.
Yeah, we did a whole photo shoot
Yeah.
in the yard, like cut him out on a brick wall, and then put like a girl riding a motorcycle, sipping beer through a straw. He's got like cowboy hat on and like glasses and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That's
Pretty
awesome.
Yeah.
We should do an album. I
was
think.
just
I
gonna
think we
say, a
should do an
little
album, and
EP.
at the
Yeah.
end of the album, have just these 3 songs. And I'll do Junkie Jeep. He'll do Porch Chair, and he can do the Blaine Ryder.
We'll release it as Sleepless Streets.
Dude, it honestly kind of would be
Or
just like
throw
a
it
cool
up on
little
sound,
Easter egg.
throw it up on throw it up on like SoundCloud
Yeah,
or
dude.
something. Like, fuck it, why not?
Dude,
I've listened to the
I
hell
want
out
to
of
be,
it.
I want to be Narrett Gickles.
Narrett Giggles.
Yeah, that's my alter ego.
Polton Cack.
Blaine Ryder, Narrett Gickles, and Polton Cack.
Polton Cack. No,
I'm,
C-pop.
I'm trying to think of what that version of Restless Road would be like.
Sleepless Streets.
Reckless Road.
Sleepless Streets.
Sleepless Streets, dude. That's perfect.
Reckless Road. We already get that one a lot.
That's wild.
Dude, you want to know something funny?
What's that?
This is called Raised Rowdy.
Yeah.
Like I literally raised Rowdy. Rowdy's my dog's name.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I'm literally in the process of
He's
raising
raising Rowdy.
I'm raising Rowdy.
Hell
right
yeah.
now. Yeah, I just
That's
wanted to tell you
awesome.
that.
Well, I appreciate
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
awesome to hear.
So with that said, you got any dog merch?
I got any dog
I don't got
merch?
any dog merch. If they want to chew up, I'm gonna give you guys some hats to rock out there.
Oh,
yeah.
come
Your
on.
dog can chew up a hat, you know,
Yeah,
and
for
then we
sure.
do that.
You
Use
got
it
any
as
dog
like a
hats?
little treat to it. Then we got like that little raccoon stuffed animal there. But
I got a couple big mamas in the car
Big
if you want
mamas.
any hot mamas.
no, you
if
just keep them with you. You just keep hot
I
mamas
got
on
some
you all the time.
Malort.
Oh jeez, oh man, Malort. So now you got the tour coming up. You've got the new song out. What are the plans for the rest of this year? Like, what are the goals for 2025 for Restless Road?
I definitely think probably we would love to go somewhere international again. It's been a while since we've been to Australia, so we're definitely wanting to do that, whether it's into this year or into next year. But yeah, getting back over to UK, Europe would be definitely something we want to do. And our headline tour runs as of right now through May, but we've been known to always add some extra dates, so you
Yeah.
never know. And
We're back
Yeah.
in the studio in about a month or so, and we've got a bunch of stuff that we've already written this year that we're super pumped up about.
Nice.
So we'll be getting that out to our fans, and I think we got another song also on the way next month.
yeah,
What month is it right now? March.
Oh.
March.
Yeah,
April.
next month.
Yeah, April.
Don't know.
It's March. I wanted to just look up real quick some of the venues you guys are going to because we've
Oh,
crossed a lot
yeah.
of these same
Yeah,
ones.
like Red Rocks. And
Oh, you guys are going to Warehouse 2565. Have you been there?
No.
Grand Junction.
Grand
that's
Junction.
that's a fun little time too.
We have played a bunch in Colorado, but we haven't played in Grand Junction
Butch.
before.
Butch out there is a good dude. You guys will have fun with him. Butch.
What a
yeah.
name.
Butch is great. And
That's a strong name.
Troubadour House of Blues, San Diego. That's a fun one.
Have you played Moonshine? Is it Moonshine
Moonshine-
Flats?
So back in my college, this was another
Yeah.
era. So back when I was in college, my show was called Redneck Radio, and as you can see, I'm a New York guy, but we all play we all have our characters
Yeah,
and stuff.
dude.
So I was known as Redneck Matt. So I got sent out to California with Brandon Ray when I was in college, and I got my teachers to let me get off class because I was like, I'm gonna move to Nashville eventually. I want to work in music, so I got them to let me go out with this crazy guy named Keith, who was just this weird dude, whatever. I ended up going to fucking California, and I did Moonshine Flats and Moonshine Beach
Dude, it's really
with
cool.
Brandon Ray. Yeah,
It's a sick venue and just being right there. So I'm excited to go back and well, I guess we're not playing Moonshine Flats.
but San Diego, you get to
But
go
San
to La
Diego-
Jolla Beach. Like it's just beautiful out there, West Coast.
I want to go to the zoo because I keep hearing that the San Diego Zoo is like the zoo of all zoos.
I've been there.
Really?
It is.
Is the zoo of all
Squirrels
zoos?
any
Yeah.
good out
Well,
there?
yeah, that's where Anchorman's based.
Oh yeah.
They got the pandas there,
Yeah.
I think.
yeah,
The
they
pandas
do.
in there. Any squirrels?
And the best squirrels
Yeah,
around.
so how are the squirrels?
I can't
there?
wait for all the squirrel content. Like you
Yeah.
have to do that now.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
have to get some videos of.
Are BB guns like legal, like to carry anywhere?
Probably not California. You're probably good here, but
'Cause,
probably
like,
not out there.
Dude,
I know you have to register them in New York now.
man, we would never go hungry on the road, man. If I had me a BB gun, I
Little
could-
Red
How sick
Rider.
would it be though if we had
There's squirrels everywhere.
if we had a pet squirrel named Rowdy and he just followed us around on the road?
It needs to be a flying squirrel. Though.
Just-
Like, can you
just-
imagine in the venue, like he just like on last rodeo, he just jumps from the rafters and just soars
With
around
like
the
this
venue.
little like with
Yeah,
your logo
dude.
on the bandana.
Yeah, he's just
like,
got he's got a t-shirt on.
a little cape.
Y'all want to
Yeah.
know how redneck I am? My mom and dad, we used to get squirrels, flying squirrels in our house all the time.
What like on accident? Like not on purpose.
Yeah, they would like somehow get in, but
No,
so my
y'all
mom-
come on in.
come on in, baby.
He's a squirrel expert. I don't know.
So,
I mean, damn, that
we
would
would
be
get
kinda
I guess
him
they
in
could have
there.
been trying to
It'd
eat
be kind
them.
of chill, dude. You got a dog and a cat and a
And-
flying squirrel.
But my mom would let us shoot them with BB guns inside the house when they were in there because we couldn't
Dang.
get them out any other way.
Dang, dude.
Looking back on it now, I'm like, she had a lot of faith in us. It's funny. I actually called my mom. Like it's been this past year, and I called and I said, "What are y'all doing?" She said, "Oh, there's a flying squirrel in the house. Your dad's walking around with the like trying to shoot it." All right.
Happenings at the pack.
Well, he didn't know about the.
Yeah,
thing.
now
Isn't
that
you
I'm
guys-
gonna have to teach them now.
I
They
wonder
get
if
that
it works
thing-
on flying
I
squirrels
bet
or
it
if their
does. I bet they
chemistry's
fly
a
right
little
out the door. I bet you're just like.
Have you ever watched a flying squirrel actually fly? It's kind of crazy.
seen 'em on
very,
TikTok.
it's very aggressive.
I've
It's
seen
Yeah,
him on
it is
TikTok.
kind of crazy.
like a bat, but a squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean them things just open it up. It's what? Okay, you know those people that jump off of mountains and they have them big
Yeah,
wingsuits.
the wingsuit.
That's
people.
exactly what one looks like.
Yeah, you seen the slow mo ones where people are like having them as pets and they'll jump
Yeah.
like super high and then it's like a 30-second video of them like landing. In
I
the
can
air.
tell that the thumbnail for this is going to be all about everything you need to know about squirrels. And
Oh, squirrel might make it into the title and the description. But yeah, looking at these dates, too, you guys are going on Panama City Beach. You're talking
Yeah.
about beach shows. That's
Very
great.
excited, yeah.
Canada, New York City.
NYC,
You guys like New York City?
Yeah,
love
I
New York
love it.
City.
Great
Yeah,
energy.
We played Gramercy twice now, and then what was that venue we played with Brett Young?
Would it have been Irving Plaza?
Oh, it was
Irving
on that-
Plaza? Or
It
the
was on a
place
No,
roof.
next to
It's
the
like
was on
other-
a
on a
rooftop.
rooftop.
Pier
Pier
Oh,
Pier
Pier's gotta be
17.
Pier. Yeah, I saw Brantley Gilbert there years ago.
And
That's-
then
that
we're
was
doing
fun,
like
yeah.
the venue. I think we're doing something, completely different.
You guys
This
are at
year.
Irving
yeah,
Plaza.
Irving Plaza. So it will be fun. Apparently, it's a super iconic rock
It is.
venue.
It is. Yeah, there's been like I was just up there not too long ago for a show at Webster Hall. Our buddies from Old 60 were playing up there, so we went up there to watch
cool.
them, which
Yeah.
was cool. But yeah, there's like the history of all the venues in New York, and yeah, Irving's had like all the big moments. Like anybody the last 30 years in rock has like come up through there. So like
dope.
your Foo Fighters, your grunge guys, your Limp Bizkits of the world, people
Dude.
like that have all played at as they were coming up, and then your country acts too.
Yeah.
You know, like that's where
I
people.
love
go into it.
iconic venues like that. Like we played the Stone Pony.
Oh,
and-
dude, yeah, it's one of
and
my old
like in
stomping
Asbury
grounds.
Park,
Yep. Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
that was really really cool. Just because I mean we love Bruce Springsteen.
It's like
so.
a museum of Bruce Springsteen.
Dude,
All
yeah,
this- it's like if you took a diner, put a stage in it, and put
Yeah.
all Bruce Springsteen memorabilia all over the walls.
Yeah.
It's a cool spot. It's fun, but that's freaking. You guys got a hell of a year planned ahead, and that's the calendar. That's only through June, and more releases. I'm guessing
Yeah.
coming.
Oh yeah.
100%. Yeah, we're gearing up for a fun year, another busy year. So which will be exciting.
Hell yeah! You were talking about rumble strips before, and I gotta just ask. So I love bus drivers because bus drivers are fucking cartoon characters. So,
They are.
so have you guys had the same one? Have you
Oh,
rotated through
we
a
did.
few?
We've
Or-
had a
and tell me
few-
about your current bus driver.
No, we love our current guy. He's the man, dude. I actually love him so much.
What's his
I
name?
hope he comes back. He's having surgery, so I hope he comes back with us.
But hold on, you got to hear. So we, well, he's not watching this. So we had a bus driver named Billy. Okay.
Okay.
And I just like to, when I just say his name, I don't know why. I just always go to Billy. That's what because when we met him first, he had this massive handlebar mustache.
Fuck.
I mean,
yeah.
the dude was
I like
like,
this guy.
and I mean, he was as bus driver gets. And for those of you out here watching, if you're in the music business, you'll know exactly what I mean when I say that.
Oh yeah.
He, though apparently he wasn't as bus driver gets because he was apparently very new to driving. He'd only drove tractor trailers. And there's a big difference when you have actual living cargo than when you have
yeah.
just boxes that you're toting around.
You're holding on to that
And
bunk.
That, well, it's the best part about it is the first night we went out with him, we're going, and I don't know if he took a wrong turn, but then all of a sudden we were up in the front lounge, and all of a sudden we hear him go, "Ah, shit!" And the whole bus just starts rocking from side to side, and then doesn't say anything. We get to the venue the next morning, and like the back of the bus was caved in on the back part, and our trailer was caved in on the one part, and he's going, "I don't know how that got there." It wasn't there before, and we were sitting there thinking, maybe it was the oh shit moment that you had.
Wasn't a
like-
wheel missing or something?
Yeah,
Like,
we
there was
had-
a wheel off the trailer. And
That's
he's like,
that
"Oh,
was a different
another
guy.
one."
But
Okay.
we literally had one that we have a double axle trailer,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
somehow the front wheel was completely gone.
Yeah, the
and
wheel
he
bearing will go.
did
yeah.
not know
I
that.
mean, there wasn't nothing left.
Didn't know, like, and it looked like it must have perfectly come out because it didn't mess up the trailer or anything. Just the wheel was gone.
But it's like, so it's not even on the ground. Like,
no, it was like gone.
because usually if the wheel's gone, I've had it happen where I've had to go and get trailers repaired, where like the trailer wheel will come off and then that side will
Yeah.
be dipped down. You'll see sparks as you're driving.
No,
Nah,
this
bro,
one
I
he
mean, it
didn't
was
even know.
upright. I mean, it just was clean off. I mean, it was just
He
the
had
wheel
no
well
idea.
left. I mean, there was nothing left, and the trailer was still just level or whatever. And he's like, "Well, how'd that happen? I don't know." And we were like, "Wouldn't you think if the damn wheel flew off? Like, where did that go?"
Isn't that a sign to
I
pull
just
up?
imagine in the middle of the night, like we're going like 70 down the highway, and then a damn wheel's just bouncing. Like I just was thinking that in my head. Like who saw that? Like somewhere somebody probably dodged a damn trailer wheel in the middle. of
It might have been a squirrel in the middle of the
like,
night.
they're
Who
just-
knows?
You know, I don't know. I was like, I couldn't believe that happened.
We also this past year had had our bus break down on us when we were in Canada. We did a one-off in Canada, and this is the best story ever. So we did this summer show just like north of Toronto, and finished the show, and we're coming back, and we are 45 minutes from the border, and all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. Like bus just completely lost power. He has to pull off on the side of the road, and we're sitting there, and it's probably like, I don't know, probably 10:30, 11 at this point in time, 45 minutes from the border. And we sat there until about 1:30. And so we weren't busing. The plan was that we were trying to go to Buffalo anyways because it was Father's Day the next day, and me and our guitar player at the time, we were both dads, and we were trying to get back for Father's Day, so we were flying out of Buffalo. And so we were thinking, and obviously Toronto and Buffalo are really, really close.
Yes,
And so we were thinking, oh, you've got to be kidding me. But I didn't know, first off, an Uber will pick you up in the middle of the interstate.
They will.
If
On
something
the side of the
happens,
road,
they
like,
will.
they will.
Like that's an actual thing.
Didn't
So
know
we
that.
get picked
Yeah.
up by this guy at like 1:30, and he starts driving, and we're getting close to the border, and then he goes, "I can't go across." And we're like,
refused.
"Oh, like you don't have your passport?" He's just, "I can't go across." And so he
refused. He would not
lets us
take us.
out with all of. Meanwhile, think of this: we have all of our luggage. Everybody
We're like
has.
a mile from the gate.
Yeah.
Like, we can't. He was like, I can't go any further. And we're
So-
like, what do you mean? He's like, no. He's like, this is where I leave you. I can't.
So he drops
Like
us
a mile
off.
away.
He drops us off. We start walking. We walk
nuts.
down. Like we go down. First off, there's no road. So then we drop over the median to go down to the office. When we get to the bottom, these guys start yelling, running out. And first off, they're carrying these big guns, like running towards, like, and they're going, stop right there. We're like, okay. He goes, what are y'all doing? We're like, we're just trying to get to like the border office.
Oh,
And
why
he
didn't
goes,
you say so? Just go that way.
yeah, points there. So then we go up, we knock on the door, and this is like at this point in time, it's like 3:00 in the
Yeah.
morning. We go up and we hit the buzz button on the door. And the
On the
guy
big
goes,
gate.
he goes, hello? And we were like, yeah, we're just trying to cross the border. And he starts laughing over the thing. He goes, all right, come in here. We go in. He goes to tell us, once he looks at all of our stuff, he goes, oh, no, like, you guys need to cross the U.S. border. This is the Canadian entrance. He said, so you have to go. And we were like, okay, so where is that? He goes, there's a river, a massive river that separates it. He goes, it's on the other side of the bridge. And so he was like, you're going to have to walk there. And it's like a mile and a half long bridge. And we're freaking pulling all
We
of
each
this
got like
luggage.
2-3 suitcases, guitars, like all.
So
of
we
our shit.
watched, like quite literally walked across the border, watched the sunrise on America as we're walking across, and we
Yeah.
get there, and these guys, they were so funny. They were great, but they were just laughing. They said, I've seen a lot in my years, but I've never seen people just flat out walk
Just-
across
dude,
the
we were
border.
like we were like the pilgrims, dude. Like we were like the pioneers or something, dude. We were just on foot, just like settling into a new land. Dude.
And we
just
did
had all
make-
of our stuff on our back.
We did
Alright.
make our flight, though.
Got one more bus story, but probably won't make the cut, but it's pretty good.
Oh, it all makes the cut.
Oh, is this about our...
So we're
know it's-
it all makes
so
good.
so
Alright.
we're on a bus and we're nearing the end of our tour, and our bus driver's saying, "Hey, I'm gonna drive." Oh,
different bus driver, too.
right. we're on tour. We're nearing the end, and we're on the West Coast. So we're all gonna fly back to Nashville, and the bus driver's gonna take the bus for a few days from the West Coast back to Nashville. And he says, "Hey, if it's cool with y'all, my wife's gonna fly out, and me and her are gonna take the bus from the West Coast back to Nashville." And we're all like, "Yeah, we're done with the bus. The tour's over." So he does just that, and he eventually gets back to Nashville, and a lot of us had left a few belongings on the bus. So I go over to the bus lot to get our stuff, and I'm going through the bunks, and I got my bag. I'm filling everything up, and our drummer asked me, "Hey, can you go in my bunk and find my headphones and just see if they're there?" And I start feeling around in my drummer's bunk. And then I lift up this blanket, and I'm like holding on to these two things, and I look, they're these bright pink things, these parts, and I'm holding them in my hand, and like they're this rubbery pink things. There's the one for this finger, one for that finger. I'm like, what am I holding right now in my hand? And so I fondled my bus driver's sex toys. And drank my guitar player's dip spit. What can I deal with?
Yeah, you've done it all on a bus.
I've done it all.
I've seen it all, brother.
What a story.
Yeah.
That same bus driver backed into our trailer 4 times, like the week before.
Oh, they always back into something,
No,
dog.
he apparently
Yeah.
Like
he
4 times in
he
like
didn't
the
tell us
same
that
1
he
minute period.
he did not tell us that he had diabetes and like had really his blood sugar had plummeted. But he was like, he backed into our trailer 4 times trying to hook it up. And apparently Kane's security's watching all this happen. He goes, "Oh, hell no, y'all ain't getting on that bus." So then they go and check on him. And he was like, "No, I'm okay." But then we had to get a co-driver just to take us back. It was bad. We've had some rough ones, but we've also had some really, really great ones.
Yeah, there's nothing like a great bus.
So
Like
that
the
being
one
said,
that tried
I'm in
to
the
hook you
process
up
of
with
getting
his
my CDL.
granddaughter.
Yeah, you're gonna be driving the bus.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Back when Zach was single, we had this one bus driver. Now this is the epitome of bus drivers. We get on there, and he's going. He starts talking to us. We're just hanging at before we even left, and he goes, "Yeah, so are any of y'all single?" And Zach goes, "Yeah, I am." And he goes, "Here, I want you to take a look at my granddaughter. She's really hot." He goes, "I think you guys would be good together. She's super hot. What do you think?"
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting
What are
here
you
going,
supposed to say, dude?
like,
She's
super,
a
super
lovely
hot. That's
girl.
She's a lovely young lady. Yeah.
Nothing happened there, really.
He never
Yeah, it
went
didn't
on a date with
happen.
her.
No,
Didn't
I-
we see him
We
one
seen
time?
him. We seen him not too long ago. He was
Yeah.
driving somebody else.
We asked him how his granddaughter was. He's like, "She's great. What? Did she
Yeah.
get married or
Yeah,
something?"
she's the.
She found the one, so it all worked
Yeah.
out.
could
I
have been
guess.
you, bro.
Dude, you missed out on that one.
Could have been
Super
could have been a
hot.
member of a bus empire.
Yeah.
Bus Empire.
Could have had a bus driver for life.
So
Yeah.
we're really excited because tour starts in 2 weeks, and since our bus driver he was out with his back surgery, we haven't heard if he's coming back yet. So we might have a new story to tell before the
Awesome.
end
Next
of the
time we
year.
get
For part
together,
2,
I hope we
yeah.
have a,
Part
I hope we have a
two.
very funny story to tell.
They're always no matter who your bus driver is, they always have they're always just such interesting people.
Oh, they're characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I had a guy named we had a guy named Cookie one time.
That's awesome.
His real name was Kim. It's like a boy named Sue kind of thing. So we
Yeah.
started going by Cookie. And Cookie was into smoking some stuff that you shouldn't be smoking to keep you awake for 24 hours on end. So that wasn't my favorite. And he had like an issue with something, but he kept eating paydays, and he would do number 2 on the bus, which I thought was like the biggest rule you don't do. So like, what's this little old
Cookie
bus?
doesn't follow the rules, dude. That's how the
No.
cookie crumbles.
Oh yes, that is the cookie was crumbling a lot.
That's how
So
the cookie crumbles,
we haven't
right
seen him in a while. Then I had a guy named Bobby Lee.
Bobby.
Lee's a-
Now that sounds
Bobby,
like a bus driver name.
he's been a bus
definitely
driver
from
for.
Kentucky.
He used to drive. He's from Alabama actually.
Oh, I
he's
knew it.
from
Bobby
out
Lee.
near Auburn
Bobby
on the eastern side of Alabama, and he used to drive for like Metallica and like Pantera, and he's been legacy bus driver.
Oh,
Forever.
this dude's hard then.
So we had him. We were on the Kid Rock tour with Trey, and we were going up to the Northeast. And I got out for our first fuel stop, and there was a piece of paper over the tag, and I was like, "Bobby Lee, why is there a piece of paper?" He's like, "Oh, Bobby Lee don't pay no tolls." I'm like, "What do you
Bobby
mean?
Lee.
What do you mean, Bobby Lee don't pay no tolls?" He's like,
over the tag.
He's like, "Yeah, it's over the tag on the back, a piece of like loose leaf paper duct taped over the tag, so nobody."
Dude, people are crazy when they refer to themselves in the third person.
He
too.
said there's the right way, the wrong way, and the Bobby Lee way.
Bobby
Lee
Lee
don't
way.
pay no tolls.
Yeah, we get
like
to the
that.
show in Mansfield at the shed in Mansfield, Massachusetts. It's like the Xfinity Center or something that's up there. And Kid Rock's production manager is like instructing where to park. And the guy gets on the bus, and he's nice guy. His name's Matt, good dude. And Matt comes on the bus, and Bobby Lee doesn't know who he is and looks at him and goes, "Don't start no shit, won't be no shit." I'm like, you can't talk to Bob's production guy like that.
Bobby
Don't-
Lee, man.
And then we at that same venue, he
Bobby Lee
fucking
knows what Bobby
he
Lee
parked
wants.
he parked the bus, and then there was a stack of like wooden pallets, and I go out there, I get Trey and everybody settled, whatever. I go back out to the bus. Bobby Lee's sitting out there with like a saw, and he's cutting up these pallets, and he's building himself shelving out of the pallet and one of the bays in the bus. He's building himself shelving. I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be sleeping. We gotta go to Jersey tomorrow. Like you're.
Can't make this stuff up.
Bobby Lee leaves
So-
nothing behind.
But again, Bobby Lee is like a bus driver. I love bus drivers for better or for worse. I just love a good
I
story.
would love to go
Things
to a
fresh.
convention like where it was just for bus
dude,
drivers.
I wonder if those exist. If
Probably,
those
dude.
exist,
Like all the new tech, like whatever, like ass cushion you can buy.
Yeah,
like the cool gas station like canes. You
Yeah.
can carry around.
Yeah, Bobby Lee was great. We had a guy named Greg who was like a preacher, but he was like
Greg?
he was California sober, so he's like I'm private coach. I can drive as long as I want, and he would go for like 18, 20 hours, just go.
Dang.
Yeah, dude, you'd see it all. You'd see it all. But yeah, I love bus. So I had to close out with a bus driver story because I'm like I love bus driver stories, and you boys have been touring for so long that I'm like, you guys have to have some good.
We
bus.
got some-
and
Oh,
you do,
we
and
do.
you do, which I
And
love.
do.
We're waiting to make even more.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, man. And I appreciate the hell out of you guys
No,
coming on
man,
here.
thanks
hanging
for
out.
having
Yeah.
us.
We had a
dude.
And
blast.
dude, wow, it's been like 10
Come
years.
on, yeah.
Finally got you back on the microphone
Let's
with me.
do
It's
it,
wild, and welcome to the Raised Rowdy family, all you guys.
Hey, thank you so much.
Anything we can ever do with you guys, for you guys, always down, and look forward to hopefully crossing paths at a festival or a club show or something
Sure
like
we
that.
will.
And
Hopefully it's not another 10 years. So
hopefully, no, I doubt it'll be that. We're both out here in the Herm, baby.
in the Herm, baby.
We're out here in the Herm. How long have you guys been living here again? It just popped up in my head.
Oh God, I was thinking
Years.
this is gonna be year 9.
Yeah, 9.
You're not.
Well, of paying rent. I mean, we were visiting even earlier than that. you
Yeah.
know?
Couch surfed a little bit.
You guys,
Yeah.
you guys
Everybody
came and
couch
stayed with
surfed.
me.
Yeah,
you guys came and
at
stayed.
Coleman's for a
Yeah.
bit. Yeah,
And
we
I
were-
had a
we-
600 square foot apartment, married with my wife, and I had Zach here, Jared with me.
Yeah, we were.
Pretty epic
It
though,
was fun. It
honestly.
was fun times.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate the hell out of you boys coming on.
This was
Don't
one
be-
hell of a chin wag.
A chin wag.
That's what we're all doing, right?
We're wagging our chins.
Having
Oh,
a
you
conversation.
have
that
all
even-
kinds of stuff. You got to write a book someday of all your fucking
Chin wag.
sayings and
Yeah,
shit. 'Cause
okay.
I'm learning some stuff, like
Chin
the Lord of
wag.
the Rings stuff. Like
Yeah.
Calendar,
chin
like
wag
every month has like a new saying.
has a new saying.
Yeah.
March is the
Redneck
month
word of the day, guitar. Well, this was great, but we got to guitar asses out of here.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good. I haven't heard that one.
We do have a
before.
whole thing of redneck word of the
We
days.
actually have almost. I think we have a list of like 40, and our goal is to like get 365 so that we can make.
Do you have the list handy?
Oh,
Is it in
yeah.
the phone?
Yeah.
I was gonna
Well,
say
that
let's
would
go
be
through.
good.
Let's go through some.
Redneck word of the day, manure. Yeah, my old truck, it was one of my favorites, but manure one goes a hell of a lot faster.
Oh, here I got one. Redneck word of the day: kombucha. Hey, buddy, you better move that truck before they kombucha.
Redneck word of the day, chicken.
Hey there, how you doing? I was just calling just to check in on you. Just been a while.
What was the Baghdad one? We had
Tell him that one, Zach.
Redneck word of the day, Baghdad. I always used to wonder what was in that Baghdad used to drink outside on the front porch.
we have some really good ones.
Redneck word of the day, Uganda.
Oh yeah.
Hey, would you mind stopping over and let the dog out while you gone to the beach? Oh shit, I messed that one up.
Oh, I got a new one I thought of the other day. This one's a redneck word of the day: cantaloupe. Yeah, my daughter was gonna get married, but she can't elope until she signs her paperwork. I like that one.
I'll give it a nostril laugh.
I'm sure you guys are particular with your redneck words.
Well, there's been some bad ones. There's been some ones that just
Oh,
didn't
there's
make
one
any
like
sense.
pasture house. I was just, it's like just pasture house.
Got a
yeah,
whole
look,
list.
there's-
Hey,
there's a list.
keep them in the
Yeah,
lab
keep
till
them
they're
there,
ready.
Keep them in the lab till they're ready. You got to workshop them. You got to workshop them.
You don't tell
Yeah.
anybody.
No, I mean, we're
Nobody's
gonna
gonna buy the
come-
book if it sounds
This
like
ain't
we
no
don't know what
new
we're doing.
material Monday at Zany's.
That's wild.
Yeah, we got about 40. Some of them aren't great. Some of them are good. But we're gonna try it. It's going to be a process, but we'll get 365.
Well, you guys need help rolling those out. Raise Rowdy is
All
down
right.
to assist in
We'll
the
keep it here.
Restless Road Redneck Words.
Raise Rowdy
Restless-
calendar.
Yeah, oh, we'd be down. We'd be
Yeah,
down for
sure.
sure. Nothing rowdier than a list of redneck words.
Yeah,
So
come on.
that's for damn sure. Well, fellas, appreciate the hell out of you
Nah,
guys
man,
coming
thank you.
on.
Thanks for
Congrats
having
on everything. Good luck on the rest of this year, and look forward to catching up with y'all down the road. We're going to send you home with, I know you guys didn't drink them on here, but I'm going to send you home with an 8-pack each anyway. If you
I'll do
want to,
that.
if you want to drink, yeah, I know you're enjoying it, which is great.
I don't always drink, but when I do, it's so sad.
Hell yeah, no bubbles, no
Green
troubles.
tea and eliminated vodka.
They're based out of Philly, so you guys are up in the Northeast. I might try and connect the team with their CEO Matt Quigley. He's good people. So
Bears better when Surfside than a Philly cheesesteak.
there you go. Go to Pat's or Geno's or Ishka Bibbles or
We
any
did
of
them
those up
both
there.
last time.
Oh, you did them both.
Yeah, we compared.
Did you go to the Reading Terminal?
Did we?
Next time you go to go to the Reading Terminal, the world's
dang.
greatest food court. It's Philly as fuck.
Oh,
it's
okay,
like
didn't know we
it's
had
like a flea market of food mixed with like a food court. It's very
Squirrel
aggressive.
gravy there.
They might actually. They got like the Pennsylvania Dutch shit. They got the people from
Okay.
Pennsylvania that come down. It's awesome. So you got
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Yes,
yeah.
Pennsylvania, middle of nowhere, PA, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for coming on.
Yes, man.
Appreciate
Appreciate
you.
it.
It was a blast.
Colton Pack, Zach Beacon, Garrett Nichols. Y'all be sure to check out Restless Road. Go stream the new music that we have got out. We didn't even talk much about music, but that was fun though.
We
It's
had a
fun.
blast.
It's fun. It's fun to talk about all the.
We
crazy
also do
shit.
music.
Yes, they also do music going out like that. It is out now, and be on the lookout for some new releases coming. And get out there and check the boys out on tour. They're going all over the place this year. They've been worldwide, and they're going to be all over North America coming up here. So for the boys of Restless Road, I'm Matt Burrill. Be sure to check out RaiseRowdy.com. Check out our friends from Surfside. This has been Outside the Round.